Welcome to the most overrated, underappreciated, most watched, underwatched podcast of all time. Welcome to the Prince of Fresh Air. Welcoming another white privileged individual to the show. How you doing? How you doing, Robia?
Yo, I'm doing good. Yo, my name is Robia Deville, and I'm Middle Eastern. I'm not as white as you think. My skin is white. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But I'm doing good. Yo, long time no see, man. I known you for a while now. I see you making moves. I see you out in Cali, man. I respect the hustle. You know, that's why you and I always stay linked up. We always keep in touch, man.
Yeah, and so, this episode, I wanted to talk about something different. Usually on this podcast, I talk about controversial topics and stuff. But I thought, from our previous experience talking, I think it's important, for other people, who went through hardships, who've been through certain things in their past that, are, making their future hard for them, that, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And I know you're a prime example of that. So I'll let you, introduce yourself and talk about certain, things that we mentioned before in conversations.
Absolutely. So I'm a lot. Yeah. So first off, to explain the way I grow up, you need to understand my parents' history. My parents' parents are from Palestine, and then they migrated to Lebanon. And my dad is PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization.
Interesting. Okay.
Something like that. So, like for example, this will share insight of how they grew up. One day, my mom's brother tried starting his car and it wouldn't start. And he brought it to the mechanic. He rolled it down, or the mechanic came to him or some shit.
Okay. And
the mechanic said, "Yeah, your car didn't start because someone connected a bomb under it."
Gee, wow.
So I come from that background. Not that I experienced it, but I grew up in a household where my dad is crazy because my dad has killed people and shit.
Jesus, yeah.
And because of that, him coming to America, he acted up. Selling drugs, has issue paying bills. For some reason, he just couldn't pay rent. So I grew up homeless. Cousin's floor, mattress floor at the cousin's house, at grandma's house, and aunt's house. I mean, for years, bro, until just recently. I mean, even till nowadays. Nowadays I'm good. But when I did my movie, which I'm kind of going ahead, but I'll come back real quick to where I'm at.
Uh-huh.
The day I did my scene, I was homeless. I slept in my car. So so just now I'm picking up residential, actual. What I'm trying to say is just now at 32 years old, I'm starting to focus being able to live somewhere for my whole life, or have that control, because all my life, man, kicked out on the street, charity, from churches. My family grew up Muslim, but we were getting charity from Catholic charities, you know what I'm saying? And in December, you write down 3 things you want, 3 things for each member. And, coat, cover for the mattress, I got Tim's. I mean, they hook it up. Every day. Gift cards, I got, the laptop I'm writing my movie Under Chase's Wing, God's Rough Draft. I got the laptop to charity gift cards, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that kind of lifestyle, and my dad was hooked on drugs, and the thing is, because I moved around a lot, because I was unstable for a while, it came a point where I told myself I'm not gonna make friends, because
right.
Because one time the moving went to a different town completely. And a lot of my relatives were close together. I was always able to be driven to the same school. But eventually came a point where no more driving you to what school you want to go to. But my dad, being who he is, he kept lying to me, saying, "Don't worry, we're going back. We're going back to where to your neighborhood, to where you had friends." So I told myself, in that case, I'm not making no friends. But when I realized that my dad this whole time was lying to me, it was so late. It was 2 years later, I realized, oh shit, I'm not going back. I made no friends here. So
yeah.
What did I do? I started smoking, started drinking. It's way to make friends faster and easier. Got into drugs. And that's how I got into the drug game. And of course, you started I did heroin real quick. Yeah, real quick at 16, bro, because the way it was introduced to me was a friend came to me. He was like, "Yo, I tried something new yesterday. It was crazy." And I didn't. And at that age and at that time, heroin wasn't like it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did it, and at that time, I had a lot of body pain because I got hit by a few cars growing up, and I also have ankylosing spondylitis, which is the cartilage between my bones narrow.
Right.
Against bone. So, but so heroin though was the ultimate painkiller, and even in my soul, you know what I'm saying? It helped the pain in my soul, bro. And but then I didn't know about withdrawals, so I did crazy shit to get my dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fraud checks, robbing Ralph Italian ISIS, escorting, selling pussy. You know what I'm saying? But not too much, but I tasted all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not every day I was selling pussy, and every day but I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, things of that nature.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. When I was in college, I worked with people in AAA, and at the soup kitchen I worked at, the Warmer House, we used to have a lot of people on probation, former drug users come in, and I remember, they would tell me stories about, how they would, they got introduced to all these different drugs at a young age. And, in your environment, you don't know anybody, everybody think it's cool, and you kind of just get caught up into it. And a lot of them, they realize, once you get involved and you start using, it's hard to just break away from it. So a lot of them will find any means necessary to buy, their products. So, whether it was stealing cars, robbing people, doing these quick scams, they had to find ways to, keep that fix coming. And eventually, sometimes it takes removing yourself from a certain environment, or going to AA, going to a rehab center, or probably even getting locked up to finally change some habits of life.
Yo, man, I know all about that shit, man. Oh, man, I can keep going with this. Yeah, yo. Just to show you, I know what you mean, man. The problem was, eventually came a point where I needed my drug. It came to the point where it wasn't choice, man. There was no stopping it. You know what I mean? And I've been arrested my whole life like 12 times. But out of the 12 times, like I did only 2 times I did time. One time was 2 weeks, and then another time was 8 months being away. The last, eventually what happened was 13 years I was doing with the heroin and all different type of drugs and all my criminal activity for 13 years. Right. And then 3 years ago, my house got raided. So yeah, my house got raided. I got set up by CI, not an undercover cop, but a girl who worked with the cops to get herself out of trouble from something else before. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. So my house got raided, bro. I was in Nassau County Correctional for 75 days. Then they transferred me to Brooklyn, and then upstate to Ellenville, and then a different place upstate. So I got transferred 4 times. Yeah, man.
Yeah, let me. So before you keep going, it's one of those things. Even for me, I've never been in the system, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos and listen to people who've done like 10, 15 years in federal prison talk about their stories. What was that like for you? Like, what was life inside, the in jail and prison? What was that for you? Like, what kind of experiences was that for you?
All right. Well, and first off, it's very. All right. Well, one thing I'll say is it was very hard to do my time, even though clearly I did it. And even not just 8 months being away, even coming back home, I had to deal with the courts for another, the whole thing took 2 years to be over with altogether.
Yeah.
Passing drug tests, showing up to these things like 3 times a week, these meetings that you got to go to. Otherwise, I was doing 3 years upstate if I fucked up one thing or didn't do one thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, there was consequence to anything I would have done wrong. And that's the thing. During all this time, I always had a dream to be in cinema. As a kid, I would watch movies like Chucky. I used to love Chucky, for example.
Child's Play, yep. Child's play.
Yo, and I don't know what movie it was exactly when I had this like vision, but I was looking up at the screen and I told myself, yo, one day I'm gonna be up there. And it wasn't about no lead role. It wasn't about like taking over like, the whole film. It was just the fact that, yo, one day you're gonna see me there.
Right.
And I felt it always in my heart, man. Even though I spent all my money on drugs and everything I did was for drugs, I taught myself how to act. I watched YouTube videos. I gave myself like my own teaching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See, there's a thing though. See, even though I was homeless, because I lived with relatives and charity later on, I was always able to eat. We never starved. You know what I'm saying? We always lived with people. You know what I'm saying? But when it came down to like personal things, like like an acting class or things of that nature, there was none of that. For example, one time, so like in school, I'll give you an example what I mean. In the parent-teacher conference in elementary school, one day I overheard my teacher tell my father outside the classroom. He brought him outside. He goes, "Listen, your son is really talented, but he has an attitude problem." Yeah. And oh shit! What the fuck? What was I going with that? Yeah, what was I?
It's a lot. You were talking about how your dad went to parent-teacher conference and the teacher mentioned that.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, thank you.
No, that's all good.
Yeah. So because my teachers kept telling my parents, like, yo, you gotta do something with your son, they recommended to my parents where to bring me. But so for example, so my mom was down with it because since I was a baby, my mom tried putting me in the game.
Right.
The problem is though, when my teachers were telling her this, she didn't realize there'd be money involved. So one day she took me to Maximus Hair Salon. She put me in a Nike jog suit, and she did my hair. She called the place the teacher recommended, and she was like, "Oh hey, my son goes to school at this place. Teachers want to bring him over here to show you what he got." And they brought up money. They're like, "Oh, you want to bring your son here? It costs money, this and that." And once she heard that, she said, "Oh," and clicked right in front of me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so growing up, I had to learn how to find information myself. And to be honest, I sort of became like a natural because of it. When I'm on set, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it's definitely one of those things. Growing up, you're taught, and even if it's from a hard place, you're taught. I know for me especially, you're taught to be independent and do your research and learn as much as you can. Which is why, like for me, I never judge anybody because for me growing up, especially in the projects, drugs, guns, gang violence, and all that stuff is all around you, and so a lot of people, it's hard for them to kind of not get away from it. But for me, I kept my head in the books and I always wanted to learn. And for me, I was watching Disney Channel, growing up watching Corey in the House, Hannah Montana, and those kind of shows.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Sweet Life, Zack and Cody.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
exactly.
we a little bit of it. Yeah.
So for me, watching those shows every day after school, it was kind of one of those. Man, I really want to do this, and there's nothing else I want to do, and so it's different for everybody. Some people, they can just start making their way into it. Some people take them a while, but everybody's childhood is different, and that makes everything even more unique for everybody.
Absolutely, because you gotta show people no matter where you are, things get better. But also to finish answering your question, so my time inside was hard because also I had to transition. And while inside, while I was behind the cells, I realized I just woke up. Something inside me said, "Yo, you're done with the bullshit." And a quote by Eminem came to mind. Eminem said when he quit doing drugs, he had to learn how to rap again. So I was like, "Yo, my mind is starting to sober up. I should learn how to write again."
Right.
And that's what I did nonstop I've been writing my whole life, but I've been writing nonstop the way I've been writing for 3 years. I told myself my mind needs to practice writing the way it writes, not all heroin. Don't get me wrong. I still smoke. I still sip a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I prevail. I'm not hooked on nothing. And that's the thing that people say, oh, you can't do no drugs. Nah, yo, I'm evidence. You good. It was just the heroin withdrawals that got me. It wasn't drugs. It was withdrawals that fucked me in the end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
you know.
No. Yeah.
I know for a lot of rappers and stuff, people who go to jail or prison, one thing they all have in common is that during the time they always find time to write, keep writing, get creative, and so when they get out, they have a new fresh of perspectives and ideas, and so it's a lot easier for them. Yeah, you might have to adjust to society, and that's a topic that we could talk about forever. But you come out with a different mindset. You come in a different person, and you come out. You know what? I want this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And now you have the mindset to achieve it.
And that's what it was. And that's exactly what happened, man. That's what sparked in me. And now this whole time while doing drugs, I did a short film with a man named Chase Palmer when I was 16 years old. Before I got hooked on heroin. And the film is called Shock and Awe. Now, Chase Palmer is known as the screenwriter who wrote the movie It. Just for people to see where I'm going with this.
Right.
But at the time, it was Chase Palmer who wrote a short film, Shock and Awe, trying to make it. And the film was in Arabic, and the story behind that is he reached out, he did his homework, making the movie, researching the culture, and my uncle was the person teaching him most of what he wanted to know to make the movie. But when it came time to hiring actors, he was like, "Oh, hey, so do you have anyone in the family that'll be down to be in the movie?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got a nephew, and also, all my other cousins were there too." And my uncle called my mom saying, "Hey, I've been working with this guy who makes movies. He asked me if I knew someone who acts in family, and I brought up Robia's name." So my mom brought me to my uncle's house, and there was Chase Palmer. Chase Palmer was like, "Oh, hey, I'm making this movie. Would you like, if you were down to be in it, I'll hire you right now." And to me, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" It was just I'm hearing movie, I'm hearing scripts. I'm like, "Yo, I did school plays. I'm all about this shit. I'm ready. Of course, I'll do this. Yeah." and thank God, because I played the lead role. And you know what? I had a good feeling about the dude Chase Palmer. I even told him inside the car 16, 17 years ago, I'm like, "Yo, if you ever need me to do this again, I'll do it for free." 13 years later, after that day, he's now known as the screenwriter behind the new It film, the rebooted version of It. And he also wrote and directed Naked Singularity, John Boyega, Bill Skarsgård, I'm in it, Olivia Cook, Tim Blake, you know what I'm saying? It just goes to show you, man, how you could really feel something. I always kept that feeling. I always kept in touch. Like the way I kept in touch too for 13 years. Now it's 16, 17 years. It took 13 years for him and I to meet up again. I would always be like, "Yo, Chase, let's meet for coffee." He would say, "Yeah," but the meetup never happened. And then here I am, my house gets raided. And 2 weeks before my house gets raided, I put my hand to the sky. When I was laying on my bed, I put my hand up to the roof, and I just said, "Please take away this pain." My house gets raided 2 weeks later. 8 months, I'm out, and It comes out. I'm like, shit. I'm like, "Yo, now there's no way in hell Chase is going to meet me. This is it. There's no way in hell." But you know what? I told bro, I didn't give up. I told myself, "What do you got to lose?" So I wrote him one more email. One last email. I told myself, you know what? I said, "Yo, fucking write one last email. What do you got to lose?" And dude, that one last email got me a meeting with him. He said, "Yo, Robia, what's up, man?" And when I met with him, the second we sat down, he was like, "What can I do for you?" And I was like, "Yo, man, I told you a long time ago, if you need me again, I'll do it for free. The offer still stands." He started laughing. Yeah, because I'm keeping it real, and I'm the truth. The fact that I know him before all this stuff, he was down to hear everything I had to say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He knows I'm not there because of what he got going on now. I was there with him before all that. So that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Being your day one with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Let me. So I was just talking to another actor from the previous episode I did, and that was one thing we mentioned, and we continue this off air. But a lot of times, a lot of these relationships that people were trying to create are not organic. So, like for me, and being in LA, you notice a lot of people are just trying to use everybody. And there's no goodwill behind it, and that's not saying everybody's like that, but a lot of people. For instance, Chase Palmer. They hear his name. Oh, he did it. Let me see what he can do for me. It's not so much. Let me see if I can help him. Achieve something greater. Let's try to make a working relationship. It's just one of those. Let me see what he can do for me in a certain amount of time. And one of the things I loved about what you mentioned was it was organic, and it showed that a lot of times in this industry is all about luck and timing. And that's exactly what luck and timing was. It created
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? It's...
And I believe in that shit, man. The universe aligned it up perfectly for me because my heart was in it and I had good intentions. Yo, to make it, you need good intentions. And listen, you can probably slide away making it without good intentions, but keep shit. You better have your act right, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying in general. I'm not, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And it's so true, man, and it's very important. Like, you see how I roll. You see how I talk about my friend. And you're right. It's not just what you can do for me. What can I do for him in return? You know what I'm saying? How can I promote it? How can I become, how can, be a voice in the room? And so I made myself, all right, so the way it worked out was after the meeting and we exchanged numbers, I never stopped staying in touch with him through the phone. And of course, meeting in person and the jobs he gave me.
Right.
But dude, I would send them just anything. Any idea I have, any work I've done, I keep him up to date with everything I did. And one time I met him in person, he was like, yo, when you send me the shit that you do, he goes, I love that, man. Keep doing it. And I've been doing it now for 2.5 years. And everything, and he's helping me climb up, man. He allows me to use his name to progress. And when I use his name, I'm promoting everything. I'm letting people know how good of a guy he is. He gave me a second chance at life. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the take. But 17 years ago, I didn't know he did Write It. I didn't know Naked Singularity. I didn't know that being in cinema through him. But so the fact, so like you said, if I met him if he already wrote it would have been different. Trust me.
Right.
I mean, I'm saying this myself. No one has told me this, but like, even though we got John Boyega and Bill Skarsgård, trust me, when I talk to him, it's very different than John Boyega and Bill Skarsgård talking to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I knew him before all of it. These cats are there after. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, you speaking volumes. And that's something I talk about. It's one of those things where especially with a lot of celebrities, you realize they have a certain attitude. And I've got to see a lot of them. When I did the Emmys, I saw like Cedric the Entertainer, Jimmy Kimmel, and I seen them. But one thing that struck out to me was that you realize that when you get to a certain level, if someone didn't come up with you, or you met them along the way before you got there, you always feel like people are gonna just use you, and that's not. I'm not saying that's the case with like Bill Skarsgård, but it's a different level when when you coming up and you have this connection with someone that they were there when I was at my rock bottom. They was there when I was still struggling. They was there, when I didn't know that I was gonna become the screenwriter of it. And it makes the connection even better because now you don't feel like you're being used. You have a genuine person that you realize is there for you whenever times are going up or when times are going down.
Facts, man, and not just that. I always keep him charged up. Like, I'm sure he's doing fine. He's been doing fine without me. Always. I've been always there, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need me like that. But dude, I always keep that positive energy up. When I was on set of Naked Singularity, on set, I'm like, yo, this is going to be a hit. when the virus happened, I'm like, yo, don't worry about the virus, man. Everything's meant for a reason. I'm still gonna push this thing, you know. And then the riots went out. I'm like, yo, man, see, everything's meant for a reason. The movie's about second chances. I go, yo, you and I are example given. And John Boyega, he's on the speakers of these riots. I'm like, yo, see, everything's meant for a reason. Because now I'm on the press tour. I'm like, yo, John Boyega now is gonna have a panel. He ain't gotta be on the street screaming. I'm like, yo, he's gonna be on the panel now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, see how everything's meant for a reason? And the movie's about this shit. And that's how the universe works, man. And I share these ideas. Look, like I said, he probably already got them going, but I'm pretending like that's not the case. I'm pretending like it's all me. But you know what I'm saying? Just to show how much work I'm down to put in. And trust me, he tells me thank you all the time. He loves my support. He never tells me to stop it. Never, in 2.5 years, never tells me, yo, stop talking the way you talk. Not one time, bro. Yesterday he texted me, like, yo, my bad for the radio silence. I'm not at NYC, crazy times right now. How'd you go next week? You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's a good, inspiration. And, before I ask you, before we get into, the film Naked Singularity, one thing I wanted to mention was, a prime example of someone who went from rags to riches, quote unquote, was Robert Downey Jr. He was a little more famous when it happened, but look at him, he was a celebrity in his own right. And then he got, he started getting into drugs, and his career went through the downfall. And he went to rehab, and he wasn't seen for many years, but he maintained friendships that he built when he wasn't famous. And look at him now. When he decided to come back, they gave him the opportunity. And yeah, there could be a lot of different reasons why that was the case, but again, it comes down to people that when you're coming up, that you work with, they're the ones that are always going to have your back. And look at him. He's a prime example of someone who went to rock bottom and now is one of the highest paid actors right now.
The directors and all. Oh, you mean Robert Downey Jr.? I thought you were talking about James Palmer.
No.
Yeah. I got confused for a second. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And that's what, for example, Robert Downey Jr.'s story, which I know a little bit about, like he had, Mel Gibson would back up because he couldn't get insurance, so Mel Gibson would back him up, and keeping, like you said, keeping friends around that support you, and they give you these opportunities. And also the reason why he was given a lot of opportunities because he had talent.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you hear interviews, everyone says, when Robert Downey Jr. came in the room, you knew he was a movie star already. He always had that, but the problem was the drugs and everything that comes with it. And so when you got friends, you got talent, and you keep on going at it, that's how you make it, bro.
Right, absolutely. It's one of those things, I know a lot of people mention like Wesley Snipes, how he fell off. He did Blade and all these big movies. He goes to jail for tax evasion, and now you barely see him. You'll see him in a Netflix movie here and there, but it just shows you that, for the people who are there when you're at the lowest are the ones you want when you're at the highest. And unfortunately, not everybody has that. A lot of people have a bunch of people at the top, when everything's going well, and then when they sink, nobody's there to help them.
And that's the issue, man. It's funny. I'm glad you brought that up. First off, Wesley Snipes, bro, I love this fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what's the one with Woody Harrelson when they robbed the train? They robbed the money through the train or some shit.
Wait, is it White Man Can't Jump?
No, it's a different movie.
Money Train.
Yeah, Money Train.
Money Train.
All his movies, bro. He's fucking awesome. And that's the thing that's fucked up, man. And I'm still down to watch this movie. When I hear Wesley Snipes is in something, I'm like, oh, no doubt. Because it's fucked up, man, how people get canceled like that. You know what I'm saying? We're still human. We're still people. We're people that call big opportunities, and we're learning as we go. And it's fucked up when, like, for example, tax evasion. Y'all dead at me for tax evasion? I mean, that's wild.
Yeah.
Y'all cancel me because of tax evasion? I mean, listen, I mean, a lot of us try to be slick for our money, nah? But that's the thing, though. People don't want y'all to be slick. That's what I'm saying. That's why if you want to keep shit, you got to get your act right. You can make it slide. You can make it being slide. If you want to keep shit, you got to be right all the time, son. See what I'm saying? Perfect example.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how everybody's circumstances are different. But, enough of that. I want to talk about Naked Singularity. How did you get involved with that, and what was that process like for you, working with Chase on set and meeting all these different celebrities?
Oh man, first off, interesting enough, it came to me by not even asking for it. See, I noticed in life, of course you got to seek something, but like if your attention is truly pure and you're not like fiending for it, it comes to you naturally, bro. For example, how I got my part. So when I graduated the courts, this is me now outside in the real world after being away for 8 months. Now okay. I did the rest of the court shit, halfway homes, and then the outpatients, and the drug testing, all that bullshit. And when I graduated, I got my certificate. And I took a picture of my certificate next to the courthouse, and I sent it to Chase.
I remember that. I remember seeing that picture. I think you put it on like Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, bro. I sent it to Chase, and you know what Chase said? He goes, "Yo, man, I love that. Because you want to come and do a voiceover for me? I wrote a new movie. Now I want to direct it, and I need to make a video trailer. So the video trailer means that. So because he wants to be a director, he got. Well, this is my understanding. He gathers clips. Well, also from what I saw, he gathers clips from other movies and places them together to showcase the flavor of his movie, the concept. And so he used my voice over the concept. I opened up the credits.
Yeah, like a storyboard kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can say that, but it's like a trailer. Yeah, it's not. It's just a trailer of other movies already made, just to show you how his vision, his taste, his coloring, things of that nature.
Right.
When I said yeah, no doubt, he's like, yo, come in, like it'll be like 30 minutes, I'll give you $60, $50 or something like that. He gave me 60, but that's why I messed up. He's like, yo, 30 minutes, $50. Dude, I went there, killed it in 2 minutes. He gave me $60 in 2 minutes, bro. He told me 30 minutes, the 2 minutes. I did one take 7 different ways, or like 8 different ways. And next thing I heard was, we got what we want. We got what we want. And after that, he walked me outside. He goes, yo, I can find you a part of my movie. And that's how I got my part, playing defendant in the movie. So you cast me in the film, in the opening credits.
That's sweet, man. What?
Yeah, that's how it happened.
The easiest $60 you'll ever make in your life.
And I love it. I went to the city, went to his office, got the microphone over here, and after I did it, he's like, yo, show Robia, the trailer with his voice over it. And he showed me it, bro, and I was like, yo, what's up? And then, so now I got the part. So, well, he said, I'm gonna give you the part. He found me a part to give me. And this part he gave me made me SAG eligible. This is why now I'm SAG-AFTRA. And
nice.
And I guess he knows I wanted that card, because before he hired me for his own movie, he tried getting his friends to hire me, but his friends would ask him, does your man have a union card? And once he said no, they're like, oh, then we can't hire him. And Chase asked himself, then how does someone become SAG eligible? And because Chase felt that way, he felt bad that no one is giving me that break. When his movie was finally written and he was the director, he put me on. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna get you that card. And that's what he did for me.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah, that's how it all happened, bro. And on set. And so when I got my part, bro, it was all about working out and staying healthy. Because the last thing I wanted was an excuse to not show up to work. I was homeless that day. I slept in my car. No excuses, bro. I was working out, drinking water, trying to eat 2-3 meals a day. It wasn't about being broke, trying to eat. It's just naturally, I don't eat like that, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be healthy and strong on this day. And bro, when I went, and I of course, I aced this shit. the producer, Tony Guns, he was like, yo, is this Chase's friend? He really came today and killed it, huh? And he shook my hand. Bro, John Boyega tapped my shoulder. I turned around, and he shook my hand like, yo, your scheme is real funny, man. Him and I share a scene together. You know
nice. That's what I'm talking about, man.
And you also handshake over here and handshake over there. And bro, and they came up to me shaking my hand. They showed me respect. You know what I'm saying? And Chase saw that. And because Chase is the director and I'm his friend, I was always with Chase. And when I say always with, well, of course he's working. I'm not being too crazy on set, not even close. But like I would stand behind him at times with my, hands behind my back, just observing. And for example, you see me?
Yeah.
And for example, like one time I was behind him, and he turned around like this. He goes, "So how you think you did?" And I was like, there was a few takes where I definitely nailed it. And he went like, "Yeah,"
Man.
Yeah, and I told him, I'm like, yo, that's so cool that Tony Guns came up to me to shake my hand. And he goes, yeah, that was cool, man. I'm like, yo, they definitely see I got talent. And he turned and he looked at me. This was a different time on set. And he was like, yeah, they definitely do. He confirmed it.
Man, that's one of the beautiful things, man. I there's not a lot of people who can, mention stuff like that, how even, without having all these huge amount of credits. And I know you mentioned SAG-AFTRA, that's a big issue too, where, a lot of people don't know how to get away into it. And I remember I have ran into someone who works on production. It was at a bar a couple months ago, and he taught me this. I didn't realize you can't get hired for any big movie, any big production, anything until you're SAG. So, unfortunately, a lot of talented people just don't have the opportunity. So, shout out to Chase for doing that for you, because
fuck,
what I'm saying? It's already hard to get into SAG. So for him to even, give you that break, that a lot of people are desperate. I mean, even me, sometimes I'm like, maybe I am ready for SAG, but look at you, and Chase helped you out tremendously. And I think, that's very rare in this business. A lot of people willing to, extend their hand and, bring you up to their level.
Yes, it's important because when Chase is not, this is like in-person talks, when him and I would meet up to talk, just friend to friend. See, Chase is everything to me. He's my mentor, we're associates, we're friends, he's my hero. Yeah, there's really not one title with Chase Palmer and I. Well, from on my end, he's my everything, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he knows all that. And one thing he said to me in conversation was, the good thing about you in this game is that you're kind.
Yeah.
So game, man, I'm telling you, people look for kindness. And when you're on set, think about it. Everyone is smooth. Everyone is nice, beautiful. Why do you think you love being on set? Because the energy is so smooth every time. And then why? Everyone is kind. People are feeding you. People making sure you're doing good. You over here, you over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, very, very important. Of course, you hear about some actors like this, some actors like that, but those are high caliber. I made all the money in the world already type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you know what I'm saying? Like you hear about some actors, you just go for a paycheck. But that's like one or two on set. I have 200 crew members. You know what I'm saying? Overall, on set, there's kind people. Hollywood is kind. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
So it's all about that too.
Man, I remember it was a year and a half ago. I was on set for, I can't remember what show it was. Just doing background, but this is like my last background gig. But John Voight was on set, and I was talking with him, and one of the things he mentioned, that he said to me was a lot of times he could sense the fake energy and this idea that a lot of people are just out here really trying to find connections, and it's not anything genuine, and that's why, fortunate for me, I don't really abuse that, but I've been fortunate enough to talk to people in a much bigger platform than me, simply for the fact that I treat everybody with respect. I don't see anybody bigger than me, regardless if they are.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean by that. Fact.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot, some people, will tell you that. And like John Boy was just straight up honest. He was like, man, I appreciate authenticity. You know, I appreciate the realism. I appreciate, you know, people, you know, actually trying to talk and learn, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, you see John Boyega, a lot of people just like, ooh, let me see if I can be friends with him and see, you know, what I can get out of it.
Yo, facts.
Crazy,
man. I spoke to him too one time. I was with Ray Donovan. His mark was right in front of mine. We were face to face. And I'm like, yo, can I ask you a question? And he went like this. He goes, sure. I'm like, yo, my friend wrote the movie It, and he gave me a part in his movie to join the SAG. To join SAG. I told him, once I become union, I told him once I become union, what should be my next step as an actor? He told me he said he's not SAG, he's something else. Shit, I can't remember what he told me what it's called that he's under the contract with his work.
Interesting.
But, yeah, and to tell you the truth, because I was on set as background that day, when I was telling him my friend wrote It, I'm in the movie, it was registering, but he didn't expect all that noise. Well, you know,
right.
he didn't know how hard it was to hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I asked him a question. I'm like, and it wasn't about like, yo, I'm up there with. It wasn't about like showing off or any of that. I was trying to learn. I'm like, yo, once I join the union, what should be my next move? And that's when he was like, well, his real response was, we don't have all that time to talk about it. But he said, I'm this. I'm not with SAG. And I asked Chase. I'm like, yo, Chase, that's John Boyega. I told him about your movie coming out. But yo, he mentioned like he's not with the union. He's with this. What should I do? Chase was like, yo, trust me. He goes, most actors I hire, they're SAG-AFTRA. He goes, join SAG, be SAG. And once Chase said that, I'm like, yo, man, that's why I need you. And I joined SAG with my paycheck. Right. I paid my initiation fee, and I paid every month, bro. I hustled hard to get that $500 every month for 5-6 months, son. Don't get me. I got the initiation was easy because I did a movie, and I got paid good. You know what I'm saying? I got paid union amount. But after that though, I had to find ways to get $500 a month extra, $500 extra a month to pay these bills. You know what I'm saying? What else I got going on? And I just paid them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting my life together for 3 years now. All of this shit's been popping up for 2.5 years. I've been a free man since 9/12/17, and I came home to my brother passing away. Nothing stopped me, dude. I've been going at this for 2.5, 3 years. Well, you know, I've been kicking it in for 3 years, and I've been at it now professionally for 2.5 years. And now here I'm at the press tour. You can never stop, son. Never stop. You know?
Yo, man, I commend you on that. And you know, one thing I always say to people is that, you know, your past shouldn't dictate your future. And, you know, one thing I wanted to say is I commend you on that, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they just see success stories. They don't see all the stuff that people had to climb through to get to there, and, you know, what type of things they had to, you know, overcome. And, you know, because people say, oh, you know, he's making millions and millions of dollars just to be in a movie, but they never knew that, you know, he was doing all this stuff for free. You know, he was homeless, sleeping in his car, and all this stuff. So that's why I enjoy, you know, talking to people who had that kind of experience, because it shows you that, you know, just because, you know, you had a rough, you know, beginning, don't mean you can't have a glorious ending. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm a prime example of that, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about myself. I love to hear myself talk, and I'm the truth, you know what I'm saying? What I mean by I'm the truth is everything that comes out of my mouth is reality. There's not one lie behind anything I say. Since I've known you, do you even think of one lie I told you?
Oh, you just lied to me right there. Nah.
You see what I'm saying though? I mean, since I've known you, I told you I'm doing this and doing this, and you see I'm doing this and doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's times where you and I linked up. I'm like, yo, my boss told me about this going on. We need more people. You see what I'm saying? And here I am, still keeping in touch with you. Now I'm on your podcast, and being on your podcast, I can share my story, because I love that shit too, man. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah, man.
I'm all about that, bro. You see, and look, where I'm going, you going. You see?
Yo, man, look, I'm in the same mentality. You know, I'm fortunate. I've had a good career so far, and you know, I know people in the industry who, you know, achieve things that I'm still looking to achieve. But again, those are people, you know, that's been doing it longer than me, and they probably just, you know, started enjoying certain success. But for me, this journey is not about, you know, using people who are more successful to get me somewhere. I like the climb. I like, you know, meeting people who's like-minded, because unfortunately, you know, there's not a lot of people like us, you know, who's all about this, who's putting in that work, who's putting that time, who spend money to not make money. And look at us now, we're thriving, we're flourishing, and that's what it's all about. I love that, man.
Yo, facts, brother, facts. And yo, I just want to say, even when you make it, you still gotta hustle hard every day, man. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Yo, now if you see me on the streets, I'm in a suit. You know what I'm saying? Look, what up, son? You know what I'm saying? Where's my jacket? Where's my jacket at? It's probably on the couch over there in my living room. You know what I'm saying, son? And bro, and look, bro, good things come to those who wait. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
nice, man. That
You know what I'm saying? People look out for you. They see you, they want to do good in life, they help you out. Like right now, I'm in my room out of my friend's Bill Lane's place, you know? And Bill Lane has a background, you know, like he worked with Joan Rivers, QVC, Bloomingdale's, like, you know, but like, you know, really big things. Like he really worked. And, like he was vice president for QVC, for example. I met him at a charity. We were talking, we clicked, one thing led to another. He heard my story, saw potential in me, and now him and I are like real friends. And are like real friends, you know what I mean?
right.
And that's what it's about, man. See, that's why, like I told you in the beginning, Chase said, the good thing about you is that you're kind. You see what I'm saying? You see how it all comes back to you, bro. I gave back all that charity work. I know all about that. I know all about how much that charity means. But like I said, I'm writing my movie from a laptop I got from charity gift cards. My Timbs, not over here, but my Timbs I do got, they're from charity, bro. So I did it, and look what came back to me. Now my friends gives me a room in Manhattan when I need to clear my mind or work some business. It's always, you know what I'm saying? It's not just hanging out. We hang out, but I'm always doing something, you know? I always make sure that. Yeah, it's not just like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what happens in life, man. You do good, and good comes to you. But yo, it's hard though. You gotta be patient. Trust me. There's still days where my back's against the wall. Well, you know, I say this one a lot. This one really stuck to me to tell the world. But there'll be days, 2, 3 in the morning, where you lying on bed, you want to sit up for a second, put your back against the wall, and you're gonna be stuck with time for a bit. It lasts about 3 minutes, where you count every second to every second to every minute, and it lasts about for 3 minutes. And you have to breathe during that moment. You have to breathe. Remind yourself, like, keep going. You gotta keep going, son. And then eventually you got a day like this where it's laughing and smiling, and we got a fucking view outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Look, it's one of those things. For me, I realized, you know, even after you achieve certain things that you want to achieve, no matter how rich and famous you are, we all have those days where, you know, sometimes things aren't just going well. And, you know, especially for me, you know, moving to LA, yeah, I achieved a lot of good things being here such a short amount of time. But there's days where I wake up where it's just like, man, I'm not really exactly where I want to be yet. You know, I had this plan that I wanted to achieve, and it's not getting met as fast as I expected. But you know what? It's one of those things where you have to sit back and be thankful that you just being able to hit some of these opportunities that, you know, other people are still struggling to hit. It's a blessing, man. And, you know, every day, you know, I take time to, you know, sit on a balcony, go for a walk, go to the gym, and think about that stuff, and, you know, clear my mind and you know, just be grateful of the opportunities. And, you know, not to make this long, but one of the things that I like to do in my spare time, especially if I have the opportunity to, is I just, I talk to the homeless, I give them food, and a lot of them, they mention to me like, I'm very few people who give them stuff, because a lot of people are all about themselves, and I realize, man, sometimes you have to give back to other people, and not just to give back something in return, but just the fact that making someone else's day better could be the thing that helps your day get better too.
Yeah, and the thing is too with that, if it truly comes from a good place, as I think in the background, I know I'm gonna get this back. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing bad about that. If it comes from a good place, though.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Trust me, the universe knows what you're up to. It's crazy how true this whole universe thing is, man. You could say God, you could say universe, you could say whatever the term Jesus, Muhammad, whatever works for you. There's something. To me personally, there is something behind. There's an element behind all this.
Right.
Look at my life, how things lined up, how my act got cleaned it up at the time when it was most beneficial. Because you know what, I told Chase this too. I'm like, yo, Chase, I'm like, thank God our coffee meet didn't happen anytime earlier in those 13 years, because I would have fucked it up.
Right.
Being a heroin addict. You know what I'm saying? You gave me a chance at the perfect time when I stopped being a heroin addict. And for real, I stopped doing heroin. Like I told you, I smoked a little bit, I drank, whatever. Oh no, but I stopped that opiate shit. I stopped that heroin shit, son. That's true story. Well, once my house got raided, I stopped that heroin. True story. You know what I'm saying, man? So, and the homelessness, bro, I understand that. And the problem too is, and I can say this, I dealt with homelessness and I've been through that. The problem is, man, I give out $1, I give it $1. By the fifth one, I'm like, yo, I can't keep passing out dollars, son. I ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I ain't got it like that. And it hurts me. I wish I did, but I don't, man. And what I try to do is, because sometimes you do just gotta walk by them, but I never mean it like that. So when I realized that that's happening, I realized I'm just like, cause I'm thinking headphones in. I know this person wants $1 inside me. You know what I'm saying? If by now you're the fourth, fifth person, you know what I'm saying? My heart's not too in anymore because now I'm looking out for myself. Because trust me, I want every dollar. Because trust me, I'm doing great, successful, but I ain't rich or wealthy yet. But I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep that mindset. I'm on my way. But what I do is I get close to them. I'm like, yo, my man, I really got no change. But this is true story too. Also, I'll tell them, this is my man. I got no change on me. You know what I'm saying? So my bad for passing you. It's not like that. If we got no change, I take the time out to say, yo, I ain't passing you like that. I just got no change for real. And bro, and bro, and you know what you get after that? Yo, God bless you, man.
Right, man.
It's God bless you, man. We keep it real, and you be real. Yeah, and you and I know what it's like. So of course, when we step up to them, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like we know, we know the way we want to be treated during these times, or during those times that we dealt with it.
Exactly, man. It's all just just giving back, and sometimes you sit back and like, all right, let me make sure I'm not doing this because I want something later down the line in return. But it's one of those things where even if it's not money, if it's food that like for instance, like when I was at my other job, when we had food left over, I'm like, why make them sit through the garbage when I see a bunch of them on the street, and I just give it to them hot and fresh and something for them to enjoy. And man, you'd be surprised, some of the tears that grown men make, because people are it's not something a lot of people do, especially in a place like LA. A lot of people just don't pay them attention, and so for them to talk to somebody, or for someone to give them a hot fresh meal, it changes the world for a lot of them. So it's one of those things where I realized that as long as I'm not doing it in a place of selfishness, it makes it a lot easier and a lot more rewarding.
Absolutely, man. Like this morning at 7:00 in Times Square, I was smoking up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just just complete strangers. I'm not sure if they're homeless or not, but I'm just talking about being able to speak with any sort of person, no matter the culture behind them or however they look. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If I went by appearances, then I could say, oh, I smoked for a homeless man. But I'm not. I can't. But now I'm judging. I didn't ask. Like I'm not. So like, well, who am I to assume that? You know what I mean, this dude had a bag, he had the weed, and we were smoking like that. We were talking. You know what I'm saying? And we became friends. And then guess what happened? I told them, yo, movie coming out. You know what I'm saying? And when they found out, I made their day. They're like, yo. And yo, I was saying shit. They were saying shit. They're like, yo, the universe. I'm like, yo, this is meant to be. That's what it's all about, son. That's what it's all about. You want to hear people say, yo, meant to be. Yo, this is crazy. I live for those moments, bro. Those meant to be moments where you feel like, holy shit, everything does come around. I live for those moments, bro.
Right. And, you know, you mentioned that is, you know, like I say in a lot of my episodes, but this is different. You know, for me, I didn't start this podcast to try to make tons of money or, you know, try to blow up, which, I mean, I won't say no to. But it's one of those things, man. I like to give back to people. I remember, you know, struggling, and you know, I'm by no means, you know, Tom Cruise, but you know, I remember days where there was a lot. I wanted the opportunity to talk. I wanted the opportunity to, you know, someone to help me out, and you know, that's why I started this podcast, to, you know, to give people the opportunity to speak, and you know, to let themselves express, you know, let people express themselves in a way that a lot of people aren't afforded, you know, because quite frankly, there's not a lot of podcasts that are giving people the opportunity to join. You know, they had their select group of friends or the people they want to talk to. And I open the door for anybody to come on and talk about their journey and, you know, their life. Just because, you know, I think it's important that we start helping each other more, opposed to, you know, just only helping out the ones that are going to give us further in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, facts, brother. That's why, like, for example, like how right now you and I are talking, like we have history before this moment. You know what I'm saying? And even before this moment, we talked about it. I'm like, yo, is it cool if I'm on this and that? And bro, that's because I'm like you. When you said just now, there's times when you wanted to speak, you felt like you wouldn't have been heard.
Right.
Bro, that's why I do what I do, son, to be fucking heard. You know, if I'm alive, I'm gonna have a voice, bro. That's what, more so than money. Like you said, bring the money, no doubt. And Chase Palmer even told me the money comes later. But really, bro, I do this to have a fucking voice, man. That's what, like I told you, every single day almost, I'm hitting up Chase for ideas, telling them, yo, how we should do the press tour, where I fit in. You see, because I have a voice now, bro, and I get a response back. And now when I drop my name and Naked Singularity and Deville International, I'm producing music videos. I got a voice, bro. People are hearing me now. They hear my hustle, and I sell it. I realize people want to hear what you got to say. When you got some heavy shit to say and you can sell it, that's how you're profitable.
I don't think I gotta. Yeah, I think that's I don't need to piggyback on that. I think you know, you hit it right on the head, man. It's one of those things where a lot of people aren't afforded the opportunity, and that's why I'm here to provide that. You know, and so, you know, before we wrap things up, is there anything you want to, you know, plug? I know Naked Singularity is coming out. I know with the pandemic, I don't know if they delayed the premiere of it, but it's still planned.
So far, not yet. So far, everything's still good. So far, Chase told me the fall of 2020, so we still coming out September, October. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So far, it's all good, baby. And also, I want to shout out to Deville International, DJ Stadium. He got a song right now, Little Xan, Little XAN Jewelry. I produced a new song coming out called No Landing. Video will be out in 2 weeks. Well, the edit will be done in 2 weeks, but of course approval, and we'll check, you know, but all that. So yo, check him out right now, DJ Stadium. I produced this video, and shout out to my crew. Shout out to Jazz, Mike, Grant, fucking Ken, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, Grant. I keep fucking up his name. It's Grant. This is yo, my bad, brother. I keep doing that.
Yo, let me tell you. You know, you mentioned what?
You know, oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
DJ Stadium and everybody else you mentioned. I'm expecting a 10% commission fee from all of you. So
Yo, that's mad funny. Yo, you know what DJ Stadium told me? Yo, cause at first, you know why I did the project? I did the project because I could. I could get helicopters, bro. I get flight clearance because I seek people out. I told them who I was and who my mentor is, and they help you come in closer. And when they see that bro, everyone researches you. Yo,
right.
When you see something, bro, trust me, they go into your background, son, and then they come back like, yo, we like what we see. Yo, I saw your shit, and let you know that they saw your shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? And so what I did, and what I did was I used it all to my advantage. I put a team together, and you know, people love being involved in sets. And when you're the real deal, they're all about being there just to be there for their experience.
Right.
And this guy is at a high caliber. I want to learn, and he's letting me learn with him. See, I don't hire the veterans. I hire those that are learning as they go, like the way I am. Bro, when I produced this video, this is the first music video I ever produced. But when I went there, but you would never think it was the first one, bro. I went there with a fucking suit, and I was ready to go, son. So much, son. Even though in the beginning I did it at no charge, and even though I spoke with my team how we're gonna do this, and everyone agreed we're gonna do it for the experience and for a foundation of Development International, it came a point where DJ Stadium was like, "Yo, I like the way you work so much. I want to give you 10% of the song for you to promote it. He liked the way I move."
Man, look what you said. A lot of people have this idea that you have to get paid for everything, which, I mean, at some point, yes, you do. But when you do stuff out of the kindness out of your heart, you get things in return that you weren't expecting. And that's the big thing, you know. There's times where, I've done gigs without the expectation of a bigger role or, money. And then come to find out, I'm getting exactly that. And I didn't even ask for it. I was just there to help and, lend my talents to, to the bigger picture of things. And that just makes this whole career thing even more rewarding, when stuff like that happens, when you can use your platform and use your brand to help other people. And shout out to Netflix about that, because Netflix does that too, where they don't hire, I mean, of course they hire, Ryan Reynolds for, movies and stuff, but a lot of the TV shows are unknown house names, people you've never seen before. And so they're giving people this opportunity to, lend their talents to their platform and potentially, blow their career up. And so that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Yo, facts, my brother. And see how, because we're like-minded, that's why you and I stayed relative. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're relative with one another. Bro, because we're going to keep coming back to each other. Every time we come back to each other, we're more and more up. You know what I'm saying? We're doing more and more things. We're more and more experienced. And we're just getting closer. And like I said, where I go, you go. Where you go, I go. Now you be like, yeah, I interviewed Robia Deville. That's my boy. And, Piercy, like the way I mentioned the International McGregory, the more we start to collab like this, the more I drop your name. Now right, right after this, I'm gonna fucking put on my Instagram, interviewed by Piercy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You know that, and I'm always like that. You need to make sure. I hate pointing. You need to make sure, my homie, that everyone is like that you work with. Cause I be hearing that a lot of cats don't want to give credit where it due.
Oh, look, man, and that's why I'm selective. And I hate always mention LA, but LA has a lot of people like that, where they just want to use you and then leave. And so that's why I'm selective on not really selective, but I choose who I want to on my podcast selectively, just because this is a platform where I want to collab with people who are like-minded, who's all about achieving greater success and helping each other build. You know what I'm saying? This is not I'm trying to use your likeness to get my podcast more views.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, I'd be expecting $3,000 right now. Hey, I know you're excited, man. I know you got the money.
Well, yo, everyone thinks that, yo, and I let them. Here's the one thing too, bro. When people, you know how some people judge? Well, if their judgment starts to become, oh, yo, this dude definitely rich, this dude definitely that, yo, let them keep thinking it, bro. Real.
Yeah, I know. I
ain't gonna correct you. I ain't gonna say nothing. You want to say that? It's all good, brother. I'm down with it.
It's all about the image.
Way, you know what I'm saying? For real though.
Man, I know, like even now, like a lot of people confuse me with Lil Yachty for some reason, but even then, like I'll be walking down the street and people like, "Hey, you're a movie star, aren't you? You did something big, right?" And I say I'm an actor, but I won't say, "Oh no, that's unless you."
Exactly, bro. Don't correct them. Just be like, "Yeah, I do movies." I mean, if they say, "Yo, are you this person?" Then you got like, "No, I'm not this person." If they don't say names and they say, "Yo, like familiar," like, "Yeah, you probably see me in a movie somewhere, in a TV show somewhere." Exactly. In the beginning, now it's different. Now I have a monologue. See, as I was learning as I go, I realized it comes to a point where certain things you say to new people is a bit scripted. I'm not always saying the same exact thing, but eventually comes a point where you do have a monologue in your head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why everything right now is important, because you want to keep building that monologue. In the beginning, it was just, I'm mentored by Chase Palmer. Now it's movie coming out, Deville International, podcast, press tour. You see what I'm saying? Right. Now when I talk, it's almost not. Now real talk. When I know it's time for me to put on my game, I take a deep breath because I can't shut the fuck up now.
A lot of people might see that as being cocky or anything, but you know what? You got to take pride in your work and what you accomplish, because as easy it is to attain, well, I want to say easy, but as well as it is to get opportunities, it's just as easy to lose them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why like I said before, like you'll see actors and people who did some big things, and like then you never see them. You know what I'm saying? Because many factors, but a lot of times is all about maintaining that success and keep it rolling. And some people can do it better than others. Some people just can't do it at all. But
facts. And that's why, and that's why to back you up, we're going to see how we keep on going at it. This shit could be non-stop, brother.
Right.
Non-stop. One thing that you said I wanted to back up, which I forgot to say, being selective. That's fine, dude. Because in the end of it all, you realize the people you stuck with were the right ones. Trust me. We want to give the whole world a chance, but nah, because in this world, there are such people as scumbags and scammers and that are fraudulent. You know what I'm saying? Even and that shit. And trust me, it all comes to light. And when you're like an empath, like I find myself like an empath. I can feel people because that's basically because my life was keep my word as a man. You know what I'm saying? So because of my pure energy, you can feel who matches you. You know what I'm saying? So dude, if you feel like someone is off beat, it means that they got something that there's no problem if it's a give and take relationship. But be careful getting talent confused with friendship or with personality. You know what I'm saying? Because people got the talent, people got a hustle you like, but the personality don't match. You can work for each other, but you can't be friends. That sort of thing. So, dude, definitely be selective when it comes to choosing friends. And working is a bit different. You can work with almost anybody, but when it comes to like who's your friend, who's gonna stick by you, nah, son, definitely be selective when it comes to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think that was a good ending to such a good podcast. I don't want to make this too long, put people to sleep.
I hear you, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
My back's killing me right now.
But I'm glad to have you on, my man. I'm glad Naked Singularity is coming out. I'm looking forward to watching it. Hopefully I can get the free link.
Yo, what up? So, yo, I'm gonna send you. Yo, everything I get my way, it lets me know. Yo, your titles in this, your titles in this. So I'm gonna send you today. A new article came out on Variety, Variety, Variety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got a first image of John Boyega in character. You know what I'm saying? And the article is the article about it, and you can find it. I'm gonna send you that link. You know what I'm saying? And here I am telling you about it. Just came out today. Yo, you going places, son. I mean, you and I always vibe. We hung out. We worked together multiple times. Here we still are. Yo, I'm gonna keep seeing you, bro. You keep seeing me. See, you and I could be friends. How we've been friends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We've been in the same part together. That's what I'm saying. You see how you're doing it right? In the end, you find out you're doing it right. You keep doing it right, son. And they'll come to you. Trust me. When you become so natural at it, the universe don't bring bad to you, son. I mean, bring you distractions. There's moments where you'll trip, but trust me, you could keep on moving. And yo, you Piercy, you always keep moving, always keep it moving, son. I mean, I seen when we first met till now, bro. You always kept it moving, son. You always did. You know, and I respect that. I see that, and that's why I know this dude is someone you want as your friend. He keeps it moving. You know what I'm saying? And you good, bro. You work hard. I worked with you, bro. I seen you shouting on the streets. I seen you put in that work, son. And that's what it's all about, son. That's the hype. That's the fucking hype.
Gonna make me cry, man.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
You know, I mean, this journey is all about. It's like the law of motion. You have to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? You can't let time pass you by because, you know, you get stuck in that place. Next thing you know, you creeping up 45, 50 years old, still wondering why things haven't went your way. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's going to give you the keys to success. You have to get it yourself. And that's what I live by. You know, you have to be willing to stick your neck out there to get something in return. And you know, it's been a good journey so far. You know, I can't complain about it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next few years got in store after this pandemic thing.
You're gonna fly, bro. Trust me. You're gonna keep soaring up. Trust me. And I'm gonna make sure of it, son. Trust me. Now I'm gonna start dropping your name. You know what I'm saying? Now you get what I'm saying? Now I'm telling you, bro. We're gonna stick around. We're gonna stick around. And this is becoming more than an interview. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't start. We're boys before the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As your boy, bro. As your boy, I got you. You know how I do represent my people and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know I keep it real, give credit where it's due and all that. And bro, and like I said, the shit can keep on going. I know. Both our backs are hurting. But bro, that's the love, bro. That's that love. That's why, bro. That's right. What you want. You want to be able to keep on going to the point where, like, yo, let's take a break till next time. We got so much shit to talk about still. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you'll be back on for sure. We got more to talk about,
bro. Facts. And next time I'm gonna see a whole studio behind you. I'm gonna see someone bringing you coffee and all that.
Hey, Keith.
Serious XM, you know what I'm saying? Yo, for real, brother. Come on, of course, man. You sound good, you look good. Yo, remember when we did that protest thing, that protest job?
Oh yeah,
Bro, when she saw you, she goes, "Ooh, I like his look." I swear she said that, bro. Yeah, she dug you, bro. She dug you. She's like, "Yo, I like his look." Bro. She loved that you were around every day. She always wanted to make sure that you came back every day, bro. She always wanted to make sure. She always asked me, "Yo, is your friend coming back tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro." I'm telling you, you got it, son. You got it.
I appreciate the love, man. And
course,
you know,
man.
And it's all about support, man. I'm glad you're doing well, and I'm looking forward, and I'm sure everybody else is looking forward to seeing Naked Singularity.
Yeah, and the No Landing music video. Yo, I did my other job too, and the No Landing music video by DJ Stadium.
And where can people find you at?
Oh, your best bet is Instagram, Deville International, Deville _International. If you want to tag along my whole journey, that's the best spot. Instagram, Deville _International. That's DEVILLE _International.
My man. Thank you for joining the podcast, and like I always say, and like I always end it, I always say a helping hand is a better hand, because that's what life is all about. And I'm glad I was able to have you on the show.